As the year is now over, I thought let's go over my picks for the 10 best acting performances of 2024. And with the Oscars approaching on the way, I thought this would be a fitting video. Now, it is important to mention that this is just my list, and there may be several notable omissions of performances garnering Oscar and awards buzz, mainly due to UK release dates. In a year 2024 full of so many great acting performances, there was always going to be many unfortunate to miss out, which is why after revealing my 10 favourite performances of 2024, I will go over a few honourable mentions as well, but without further ado, let's get into my 10. The first performance I want to mention, starting with a performance I didn't expect to mention or make it onto my best of the year list, that being Nicholas Hoult in Juror number 2. Not that I didn't believe Nicholas Hoult had the skill set to lead a gritty late stage Eastwood crime drama, but it just really didn't spring to mind as one I would think as one of the best of the year. But I personally believe, and this includes Nosferatu of this year, in which I also think he was great, I think Nicholas Holt's best ever work today is in Juror number 2. Hoult manages to portray a man struggling with many moral dilemmas and quandaries, a tremendously understated performance backed by other great cast members that I think worked on every level. The next performance I want to cover is the wonderful Juliette Gariépy, which I'm sorry if I mispronounced that name, French Canadians. I've been trying to search for a while, and that is the best I could find. So again, apologies for my inevitable mispronunciation. And that is her performance in Red Rooms, the film I'm going to be covering. Juliette Gariépy gives a performance that, for me, came out of nowhere, and is easily one of, if not the best, lead actress performance of the year. Juliette portraying a woman who is bound by her loneliness, an obsession that starts out as morbid curiosity but develops into a complete twisting of mental state. One of simultaneously the best and most uncomfortable performances of the decade, an entire descent into utter madness. Next, we have probably the lead right now to win Best Actress at the Oscars, and that is Madison's performance in Anora, which I do believe is a performance as good as advertised. A career-boosting breakthrough performance from Madison, a performance that manages to be both very, very funny and endlessly heartbreaking. And also a really brave role to take from an actress in her first big lead. And a decision that I believe delivered on every single front. Chris Hemsworth. His performance in Furiosa is the next performance I want to touch on. Undoubtedly, Hemsworth's best ever work in front of the camera. And one that showcases just how talented he is when not constrained to the franchise model. Not that I think he's particularly bad in the MCU films, for example, quite the contrary. But it is just so great seeing him take a role like this. A devious yet incredibly funny primary antagonist who so wonderfully manages to play off his team of misfits and the protagonist herself, Anya Taylor-Joy, as Furiosa herself, whose performance as Furiosa was also unlucky to miss out on this list. When a couple of years back we initially got the news that Anya Taylor-Joy had dropped out of the lead role as Ellen in Nosferatu and had been replaced by Lily Rose Depp, there was some disappointment from myself, considering I'd literally not seen Depp in anything prior. I didn't know what to expect. But Lily Rose Depp in Nosferatu, for me, manages to convey such a scorching and physical sense of fear when confronted with predation from the Count. She delivers a really, really physical and brave performance. Brilliant throughout, and not only up there as one of the best lead actress performances of the year, but also of the 2020 so far. Now, it's important to note that this list of 10 best performances isn't ranked. Not ranked at all. As that would be just ridiculously hard. However, if it were ranked, Marianne Jean-Baptiste's performance in Hard Truths would be my number 1. Now, I appreciate that Mike Leigh's Hard Truths isn't out yet. I did manage to see it at London Film Festival, so it's a bit unfair for me to talk about. But let me just tell you this. She is astonishing. Endlessly funny, yet showcases the full torment of grief and just what the conventions and norms of everyday life can do to someone's mental health. Her performance is endlessly human and authentic and beautifully matched by a number of other great performances in the film itself. The next role I want to cover, and again, not ranked, but if it were, might be my number 2, and certainly my favourite lead actor performance of the year, and that is Daniel Craig in Queer. So much to the point that as I finished watching this at London Film Festival, I literally turned to the person I was watching this with and said that Daniel Craig's performance is up there with the very, very best of the decade. A different role than the ones we're used to seeing from him, and although I already thought he was a great actor, this role takes him to a whole new level, in my opinion. A performance that showcases physical and subconscious addictions, the small gestures we make in order to receive wanted human connection, and Craig's character's inability to understand between healthy and unhealthy desires. Truly, and again, in my opinion, a generational acting performance. Next, we have a performance that I just don't see getting nearly enough love. A deeply emotional performance, that being Justice Smith in I Saw the TV Glow. He is truly phenomenal in this. Portraying someone so blatantly tackling with their own identity, a display of destruction of self. And after seeing this, I am so excited to see more from Justice Smith in the future, as he is looking to be just an incredible talent. Perhaps the best performance in a horror movie of 2024, or at least alongside previously mentioned Justice Smith in I Saw the TV Glow. We have Nell Tiger Free in The First Omen. Now, my only real experience of seeing Nell Tiger Free act previously was on Game of Thrones in, I believe, seasons 5 and 6, which she didn't really play a very big role whatsoever. So the quality of her performance in The First Omen came as a major surprise. Now, perhaps that also came from the fact I thought The First Omen would be awful. You know, it's a modern day horror prequel. It turns out it wasn't. It was really good. But Nell Tiger Free delivers an outstanding performance, and hopefully, in my opinion, a star-making one in time. It's rancid, it's suspenseful, it's endlessly intoxicating, and it is just one of the best leading horror performances I've seen in a very long time. And finishing off the list for my 10 favourite acting performance of the year, fittingly another performance that doesn't seem to be garnering nearly enough awards buzz, credit, or just general appreciation online, and that is Léa Seydoux in The Beast. She is, and I don't say this lightly, absolutely tremendous in this. As a matter of fact, I don't think any other working actor could have captured this specific role quite as well as she managed. Overwhelming and leaving me with so much in terms of different feelings, completely sublime throughout, showcasing a character lost, needing connection, and especially great in the scenes matched by George McKay, who could have been on this list a number of times himself, and their brilliant dynamic together. So that was my 10, but as mentioned, as promised earlier on in the video, I do quickly want to list off some performances that were unfortunate to miss out. Most notably, Timothée Chalamet in Dune 2, George McKay in both The Beast and The End, any performance from the main three actors in Challengers, Michelle Austin in Hard Truths, Nicholas Hoult in Nosferatu, Franz Rogowski in Bird, Anjanou Ellis-Taylor in Nickel Boys, Demi Moore in The Substance, and Josh Hartnett in Trap. That was my list. That was my list for the 10 best acting performances of 2024, with a few honorable mentions there as well. I'm sure a lot of you will tell me where I'm wrong and right, but I do want you to let me know some of your favorite acting performances in the comments below. And other than that, I will see you next time.